Welcome to First Person Defender. Real people put into realistic self-defense training scenarios.
These are real scenarios.
Hey, give me your money.
The role player does not know what's going to happen. We go through the first scenario, see how they handle it, and then we pick one thing that they could have done to increase their survivability, train it a little bit, and then run them through a similar scenario.
Each weapon is loaded with Simunition FX marking cartridges, the most realistic, non-lethal alternative to live ammunition. Simunition is the closest thing to the real deal.
Once you feel the pain penalty once, you don't want to feel it again.
For this type of force-on-force training, role players are required to wear protective gear.
Come on, hit me.
It is as real as it gets. Heart rate's elevated, their respiratory rate's elevated, their adrenaline is dumping into their blood. They are scared and amped up.
I got a gun! Back up!
Get out of my house!
My name is Michael Klaus. I was born and raised in South Louisiana. I love to hunt and fish. I'm a real estate agent and own real estate and rental property, and I'm a concealed carry holder for that reason. I don't have any formal training other than the courses required to get that permit.
He said that he was a concealed carry holder and he had only received the state-mandated training. We see that all the time.
My handgun experience is more limited to range shooting as opposed to hunting with rifles and shotguns.
He's very typical of what we see a lot of times where someone, grew up hunting their entire life, around guns their entire life, primarily hunting, shotguns and rifles, and they think that prepares them for being in a lethal force encounter as a concealed carry citizen with a pistol. And it's not true at all.
Being the fact that he's not real good with a handgun, we're going to see how he can control that gun under stress.
Greg and Destin gathered the role players and went over the safety procedures for a force-on-force training scenario.
What we have set up today is essentially an active shooter in a workplace shooting. He's going to be sitting there in his office and someone's going to come in and start shooting. You're going to be in your office, you're going to be working, this is your office building.
They're coming in there with the sole purpose to hurt people. So if he doesn't act fast, the casualty rate's going to get exponentially greater.
Michael, for you, you've got your nifty little handy case. We intentionally set it up to where we put the gun in a zippered bag with a magazine and a magazine holder inside the bag. So the gun was unloaded and it was in a zippered bag.
Okay, that's kind of hard to get to, isn't it?
He kind of looked at me weird, like, well, I wouldn't do this. So, he's definitely got the right mindset. This is a workplace that doesn't allow you to carry firearms, and this is how you have to bring it in discreetly.
Okay.
Michael has no idea what he's getting himself into.
I understand there's going to be a good guy and a bad guy, and from what I understand, I'm going to be the good guy and the bad guy's going to be shooting at me.
If he's used to hunting, that buck fever, that excitement he gets, I think that's going to be times 10 today when we come in.
Let's do this.
And he came in here this morning, started kind of peacocking a little bit and telling me he was going to get me pretty good. So we're going to find out what Michael's made of, what this duck hunter can handle today.
As soon as Michael settled into his new office, the role players assumed their positions, and the first scenario was underway.
I was at my desk working in my office, and I heard some of the other employees out in the hallway.
Email Sherry about the big project we got going on.
Des and I went into the building together as a team, essentially, into a workplace as an active shooter.
How's it going, guys?
Hi, good morning. Can I help you?
It sounded like someone had come through the front of the building
Yeah.
and started shooting.
No, don't shoot!
We got a gun! We got a gun!
As soon as the chaos erupted, Michael frantically reached for his pistol.
I went for my weapon and got positioned in my office, which is the first thing that came to mind.
Knowing where Michael was in his office, because we set the scenario up, we went the opposite direction, give him a little bit of time, kind of see what he would do. he chose to barricade himself in the office.
As Michael remains hidden in his office, 2 more role players become victim in the attack.
All right, go. Come on.
With the body count at 4, the assailants continue their rampage as they hunt for more victims.
That's it. We're killing everybody.
Everybody,
Everybody's gonna die.
just like on TV, man.
Yeah, dude, just like the video game. You ready? Come on, dude, let's go down here.
All right,
Finally, we started working our way to that office.
check the break room.
Yep, let's check this office first.
Well, my heart was beating pretty hard. I knew it was coming to me, and I knew there was nothing I could do to stop it.
When the bond between hand and gun feels as true as a perfectly placed shot, it's not by accident, it's by design. M&P, advanced by design.
Nosler Defense Ammunition is loaded up front with the bonded performance line of bonded core defense bullets. Professionals trust their next move to Nosler Defense.
When it comes to especially active shooters, time is of the essence, and we're talking fractions of a second. The sooner you get involved, the sooner you can stop and end the tragedy and people getting shot and killed. And you have to understand that you are putting yourself at risk as well.
But it's much better to deal with it at distance than wait until it's knocking at your door.
Oh, you got a gun!
He was in a pretty good position in his office, but then it also immobilized and locked him down and kind of forced him into a gunfight.
Get in there, man.
Had those been real bullets, obviously they would have gone through the chair that he was hiding behind, and it would have probably ended up pretty badly for him.
I'm empty.
Oh, you're empty? Oh, you're out of ammo now? Oh, yeah. All right, index.
Index.
Gunfighting is a dangerous business, plain and simple. No matter how trained you are, no matter what you have.
Sitting still and hunkering down in my office was the worst thing I could have done because I forced myself into a gun battle, and I made it easy for them to get very close to me.
All right, what do you think?
Intense.
It's pretty intense, right?
Extremely. When I heard the guns start going and I heard we're killing everybody, I figured anybody that came in my office with a gun was going to get shot.
All right,
Yeah.
so what was the position that you put yourself in the office? Where did you?
I tried to close the angle from the door as much as possible so they'd have to come all the way in to shoot at me, and then I put something in front of me so they couldn't see me, and I could have a clear shot at them the second they came through.
We always talk about in training that if we have the ability to keep the gunfight at a distance, that gives you that reactionary gap, that reactionary time. You know, he's alone in his office, he can grab his gun. Doesn't mean he has to just start wielding it out in the hallway. He can look out, see what's going on, assess the situation, and see if he needs to get the gun in the fight.
This is good. I love this because you're a very typical concealed carry holder. And it's not talking badly. Luckily you're very familiar with guns and safety-wise, and you've got that right mindset. It's nice, one, to be able to open people's eyes up to the reality of this stuff, and then give them training to increase their survivability, which is really ultimately why we do what we do. But using a pistol, especially in a defensive, combative situation, is very different than duck hunting or sitting in a blind, sitting in
Ducks don't
a
shoot
deer
back.
stand. Not usually, not usually.
I've had one hit me in the blind before.
But it's also a little fun and sadistic being able to, take them down a peg. But,
Yeah.
now we can start working on some of the mindset and tactics involved with it as well. And I think you'll enjoy it. That light bulb will go off. You'll have fun.
I'm ready.
If you're not already having fun.
This is fun. My heart's bumping.
All right,
Let's go do it.
man.
All right.
Good job.
We took Mike to the range and actually practiced on some shooting behind cover.
Teach them a little bit more tactics about utilizing a pistol, especially in a building and with rooms and doors and whatnot.
Before explaining the proper use of cover and concealment, they first reviewed the basic fundamentals, removing any training scars that Michael may have previously acquired.
We talked about in your office, you basically barricaded yourself in the corner, which then immobilized you. You were stuck. If you were going to get into a gunfight, you forced yourself into that position.
Take advantage of everything you have, every tool, from the laser to the sights to the cover in the building. The first thing that you want the bad guy to see is basically the muzzle of your weapon. So if you look at his footwork, he's going to put his left leg forward. That's going to give him stability as he drives out. You want to aim in towards your target first before you expose yourself. All he has to do is lean out and then engage with 2 or 3 rounds. On the right side, he's going to transition his weight, give 3 rounds, and he's going to come back behind cover. Man, if you're in a long gun battle and you're shooting and coming back and he's shooting back, you might want to think about changing your elevation. So think about taking a knee. Now, next time you come out, I'm aiming high when actually you're going to be coming down low. Again, we're going to assimilate, this wall is continuous, so his left leg is going to be like an outrigger. It's going to help counterbalance the weight. So he's going to go ahead and aim in while he's behind cover. He's going to lean out or pie out and engage with 3 rounds. And then drive back. Again, by him having that knee on the outside, he can push back on that knee or whatever foot he has on that side of cover. All right, go ahead and reholster. You feel good about that?
Feel good.
All right, let's get you online and try it. You can push that foot forward a little bit more even, right about there.
Once Michael was positioned properly, he started sending rounds downrange.
Lean, lean. When you have sight picture, fire 3 rounds. All right, let's change the footwork up. All right, I want you to lean out towards me. Once you have your eyes on your target, your sights, fire 3 shots.
Everything we practiced today was common sense at the range. It all made sense, but it's nothing I would have ever thought of had it not been taught to me. You want to give them as little target as you can, and at the same time maximize your chances of making a clean shot on them.
These are just some ways for stability-wise that I can expose a little bit less by using the right foot. You heard people getting shot. You heard one of us say, let's kill everybody. Man, that's your cue that this is not just a disgruntled employee, your boyfriend, girlfriend coming in to do harm to one individual person. Our intent was to wreak as much havoc as possible. So if you choose to help that situation, then we have to be fast. There are times when maybe it is the best thing to do, just to hold up for a minute, but now your sense of hearing is going to be huge. You're going to hear me racking the slide if I have a malfunction. You're going to hear those commands, hey, let's kill everybody, and then capitalize on that quickly and hopefully become the victor.
The Ruger LC380 is the perfect pairing of the award-winning LC9 pistol and the popular 380 auto cartridge. It features a dovetailed high-visibility 3-dot sight system, 7-round magazine, and finger grip extension floor plate. The Ruger LC380, another rugged, reliable firearm from Ruger.
Para Black Ops, the baddest tactical 1911 on the planet.
The .40 Smith & Wesson has become a favorite for police departments, as well as citizens owning pistols for self-defense. Nosler Defense Ammo offers 2 different loads with 200-grain bullets. The .40 S&W sits between the 9mm and the .45 Auto, making it a good choice for a defensive pistol round. First Person Defender, brought to you by Ruger Firearms, Smith & Wesson, Nosler, Crimson Trace, Simunition, and Remington.
Despite people's arguments and everything you're seeing in the news today, you're not going to eliminate the problem of some deranged psychopath wanting to go into a public place and kill people. But with armed citizens that are carrying concealed, with armed guards at those locations, you can drastically minimize it. You need that immediate intervention And when seconds count, the police are minutes away.
This room seems to get smaller every time I walk into it.
The scenario was similar. We had a few more role players this time, and so we wanted to see what Mike was going to do after we got back from the range.
I'll probably get toward the door and see what's going on, and maybe make a move, maybe not, I don't know.
We kind of coached the role players a little bit just to respond a little bit quicker. And we added a couple role players, one to go charging frantically into his office upon shots fired, kind of change it up for him and see if he could discriminate against friend or foe.
With everyone in position, it's time for scenario number 2.
We kind of came in that same aggressive intent. We encountered the young lady in the foyer area. She asked us if we need any help.
Hi, gentlemen, can I help you?
Shot her, shot the other co-worker. To his aid, we had two kind of guys that tried to tackle us. Actually, I think got Greg to the ground. We were able to shoot them basically at point blank. But that moment is when Mike sees the opportunity.
I got up and to the doorway and was able to engage them at a further distance. You got a gun! Kind of pop in and out of that doorway, minimizing my exposure while being able to get on the target quickly. Also changed my elevation a bit, back and forth to make it harder for them to hit me.
First thing I saw when he came around that doorway was his light and laser and barrel. Hitting me, killing me, and then my partner in a valiant gun battle took his own life. As we see typically in this active shooter.
And ultimately, I was able to skip rooms to across the hall and get away.
Index, index, index. Index.
Mike did much, much better on the second run. He utilized the tactics and techniques that we taught him to minimize his exposure, use that concealment, and take that opportunity and immediately engage us. It was a good job. You used the techniques specifically. You even took a knee.
It helped me tremendously to move, but to move while using the tactics I learned during training. And I was able to engage them before they got on me.
It's a choice you have to make. You're risking your life, but are you gonna sit in your office and be shot and killed helplessly, or are you gonna go out and fight for it? Man, your coworkers are tough too. They actually came out unarmed and they just bum rushed us and actually tackled us. So that bought you a few extra seconds. If you're unarmed, the only way to stop this stuff or minimize it is to act immediately, fight when you can. Granted, they might have given their life or gotten injured because of it, but they saved who knows how many other people in this building. And you've got to pick and choose your time carefully and still use tactics along with it. And when it's time to go, it's time to go, and you need to go as violently and aggressively as you can.
I learned a lot today.
Good. I'm glad it worked, man. Good job.
Thank you. The main thing I learned is that I need to learn more, because I do carry a weapon. And I think it's important to be properly trained to use that weapon if you're going to carry it.
We can't encourage enough that you have to get out there, get formal training. That's the big thing. And then go out and practice it.
Realistically, I'm looking forward to some more training, but I definitely feel like I'm heading in the right direction.
He definitely shows that as an average concealed carry individual, that with the proper training, you can get better.